But first, I want to show you how this can precisely lead to my second reason why most people's affirmations do not work. People's affirmations don't work because their affirmations are not real.
You need to leave!
The fact that the first change that takes place is in your mind. You have to change your mind before you change the way you live and the way you move. So when we said that the revolution will not be televised, we were saying that that the thing that's going to change people is something that no one will ever be able to capture on film.
Today's video topic is affirmations. Now, before I start, I don't want anything to be misconstrued because I don't have a problem with affirmations at all. I couldn't shine a bad light on them even if I wanted to. But my gripe is not the technique, but the user of the technique. You see, I genuinely believe that affirmations work for everybody, but how we go about it matters as well. Knowledge will always exist, but depending on who teaches it or who reads it matters way more than the information itself. So in this video, I want to highlight the two major things people get wrong about affirmations so you can use them to propel yourself into your new reality. To start, let's define what an affirmation is, because it is directly correlated to the first mistake people make, which is they don't know that they're affirming more negative than positive into their life. According to Google, the definition of an affirmation is the action or process of affirming something or being affirmed. And the definition of affirmation is to state as a fact, assert strongly and publicly. Simply, is when you declare something to be true. Now let me ask you this. Out of all the things you say on a daily basis, what percentage of them can be considered affirmations? I would say around 90%, if not higher. Why is this, you might ask? This is because an affirmation is truly just a statement. Any and every statement is a declaration of someone's thoughts and or beliefs. You tell someone a story, that's an affirmation. You tell someone a fact, that's an affirmation. You make a comment on a situation, that's an affirmation. Anytime you make a statement, you are making a declaration. And anytime you're making a declaration, you're making an affirmation. The only reason that the frequency of affirmations that someone says daily is not higher is due to how many times people lie on a daily basis. And even then, them lying is still affirming something that they may not want. Now granted, this is my assumption. There's nothing statistical about what I'm saying, but nevertheless, understanding that every statement you make is an affirmation will shift your perspective on how and what you say. You would be way less reckless and more intentional about what you say about yourself and others. So now let me ask you another question. If every statement you make is an affirmation, are most of your affirmations about yourself positive or negative? Or even better, are they reflective of the reality you would like to live in? Probably not. Now, I'm not saying you need to be this unrealistically positive person on a daily basis. This does way more harm than good. But what I'm trying to relay is that you should be taking the extra time and thoughts to process the words and statements you wish to describe yourself as and what you would like to describe your life as. Now, you might be asking about the genuinely negative things that happen in someone's life. How would someone go about talking about these things in a manner that doesn't reinforce the same outcomes in the future? Or how does someone respond to people who ask them about their lives? I know that this is a big point of curiosity and frustration to a lot of people who are learning about manifestation, because if they have to live in the right now, but that outside reality contradicts it, how would they explain it to somebody else? You are obviously trying to speak things into existence, which I commend you for. But you obviously don't want to sound crazy for saying things that contradict what you're experiencing. That makes sense to anybody. I know that's a point of confusion for a lot of people who are learning about manifestation in the beginning. So, trust me, I get it. And I'll answer this question. But first, I want to show you how this can precisely lead to my second reason why most people's affirmations do not work. People's affirmations don't work because their affirmations are not real. The affirmations that most people use are not reflective of how they would actually speak about themselves in their desired reality. Do you think that a millionaire would say a basic affirmation like "I'm rich" to themselves out loud, or even in their head? Probably not. Or do you think that if they went broke, they would psych themselves up by endlessly repeating affirmations about them having money, saying, "I have a lot of money, I have a lot of money, I have a lot of money"? No. A lot of the affirmations people get are from others, and they're too generic, they are too one size fits all, and they are just plain non-realistic or practical. In everything we say, there's an unconscious level of belief behind it. How much belief we have is determined by what we say and how we say it. While your mind may not know imagination from reality, you can do yourself a favor by saying an affirmation that you would realistically say if you were in your desired reality. Because why would you say something so specific if it weren't to be true? Take the statement, "I'm rich," for example. If I had to talk about my wealth, I would say things like, "Every day I get richer," "Making money is easy," or "I just have a knack for making money." All these things are truly reflective of how I would feel in those positions. Now we know that while life can be blissful, it can also be troublesome. We all know that there will be sunny days, but there will also be rainy days too. And more than likely, if you are watching my content, you are trying to clear the clouds that have been causing the storms in your life. So to get back to that question that I stated from earlier on how you would respond to people even if your current life is not where you wanted it to be, my answer would be to become like Floyd Mayweather.
I drink soda, I eat pizza, I hang out with chicks all day. These fighters still can't beat me. They fighting every day, they in the gym every day. Just give me 6 weeks, and I got it.
Do you see the confidence that Floyd has? What's powerful about this is that he acknowledges that at this very second, he's not where he wants to be, but he will be sooner than later. This is the way you need to speak about yourself. You obviously don't have to be as brash about it, but it's still the general idea. You can both acknowledge where you are at and where you are going. The people who can make it to the finish line was already determined before the race even started. Because regardless of where you get to, you have to become the person that is capable of being in that spot. So if someone asks me, "Hey Clemencio, why you feel like you've been stuck at 400 something subscribers for so long?" I would tell them two things: inconsistency and perfectionism. I know I put out quality videos time and time again, but sometimes I get analysis paralysis and I go long times without uploading, as you can see. But I'm making the decision to be consistent and choose a better life for myself, and the world will catch up to me in due time. This kind of response affirms my truth now and later, and it emphasizes that you always need to know that everything will work out in your favor, as long as you believe this to be true. And you want to know something funny? The affirmation I just said about myself earlier actually took me a few minutes to create. This is because I was being real. You see, as human beings, we always feel before we think. So whenever an idea or a scenario comes to my head, I know what it feels like. But expressing it in words is a whole other ballpark. You see, language is very powerful, but it is also limited as well. Because there are time periods and there are moments where there are no words that are able to describe what is being experienced or what is being witnessed. So, if you're going to use affirmations, please take the time to make sure they are custom made, not imported directly from social media or from one of your friends. The benefit in this comes from the fact that this is the most powerful affirmation possible because it's something you actually would say. And also, you get to learn more about yourself and how you think as a bonus. It's a 2-for-1 special. All in all, affirmations are a great tool for manifestation and shifting your beliefs. But in order for it to be effective, they need to be personal and a part of your everyday dialogue, not just designed for the time that you set aside for them. And no matter how good the tool is, please remember, you, the user of this tool or technique, will always determine if it works or not. The magic is never within the technique. It is always within you. I hope you enjoyed the video. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.
I'd like to make you stay. I'd like, if you don't know